On the Senate floor on October 18th, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky delivered a pointed speech criticizing President Trump's tariff policies. Paul expressed frustration over the decision to raise tariffs on Canada, citing a Ronald Reagan speech on free trade as a benchmark for sound economic policy. Watch his remarks right here.
Allowing taxes to be levied, doubled, tripled, and then one day perhaps forgiven is a recipe for chaos. The tariffs are implemented, the tariffs are canceled, the tariffs are delayed, the tariff rate changes daily. Just this week, the president added a special 10% import tax on Canada because he was mad about the nation's Ronald Reagan ad. An ad, by the way, which was showing Ronald Reagan verbatim speaking. Newsflash to the administration, Reagan was a free trader. Reagan believed, and I quote, that protectionism costs consumers billions of dollars, damages the overall economy, and destroys jobs. Ronald Reagan's vision for America can be seen in our trading relationship with Canada. In 1986, President Reagan said, "Our trade policy rests firmly on the foundation of free and open markets." Further, he said, "I recognize the inescapable conclusion that all history has taught. The freer the flow of trade, the stronger the tides of human progress and peace among nations." It was Bastiat who wrote that when trade and when goods don't cross borders, armies will. It's not a guarantee of peace, but one way to achieve peace is to attempt to have good relations and trade with all nations. No country, no business, no family can plan a budget when the tax rates, the import tax rates, and the cost of every commodity are determined by the whims of one man. There are now tariffs on steel, there are tariffs on aluminum, there are tariffs on lumber, and they change from day to day. But not one of these tariffs was voted on by the people's elected representative in Congress. These tariffs are simply announced by presidential proclamation. So perhaps more fundamental than a debate over what these tariffs are, what the rates are, and what they do to our economy is the question of whether Americans ought to perpetually live under emergency rule.
For more congressional news, stay tuned to Congress Clips, and thanks for watching.